And pull up a chair, episode 62. There we have it. We are live. So on that note, we are ready to go on this blessed and wonderful sleepless Sunday. I'm cracking it right off with a brew, getting it started on this beautiful Sunday night. None of the parlays have hit yet, but that's all right. That's okay. And I do believe now we've made it past 10 seconds. So now I'm pretty sure all bets are off the way YouTube goes. So on that note, as you can see, we got Wifey pulling up a chair to join us tonight to talk various things from the music world, the movies world, the sports world, and the wrestling world, and a little bit of just what's going on in this crazy simulation that we live in. So thank you for my beautiful wife pulling up today and joining me. I know we kind of took it down to crunch time, came down to the last minute, but here we are live, and I thank you guys for being tuned in. Big cheers, good brother Doomer. Appreciate you. And thank you for judging last night as well. And if you don't know me, I'm the creme de la creme, the one that they call him, Mr. El Tucker Tente, the ultimate sensei, the one who, of course, taught Bruce Lee everything he motherfucking knows, a.k.a. Space Mountain Stoney, a.k.a. Stony Montana, a.k.a. the young Tony Clifton, a.k.a. Edward Swisherhands, a.k.a. call me what you will, but you can never call me broke or sad. It's Mr. Keep the Love High and the motherfucking hate low, baby. This is Pull Up a Chair, episode 62. As you can see, I'm fired up. I'm ready to go. And let's just see what we're going to dive into first here. Well, figure before we dive into anything of the topics that I mentioned that we do plan on diving into today, I did want to say I know I'm in bright red, even though I should be wearing all black because R.I.P. Omegle. Omegle came to I don't want to say unfortunate end because I'm pretty sure that damn site was cursed to begin with. But I want to say it said it debuted. It had like about a 15-year run to it. I think we all have various memories with Omegle. I don't really know if any of them were good ones, though. I just remember the couple times that I did use you, you'd have to sift through like an hour's worth of dicks just to see a pair of boobs for like maybe 15 seconds. And the boobs are always the laggiest frame. Like the dicks are in like 3D 4K. But then the moment you actually would get to the boobs, it would be like, oh, where did they shoot this? In a tunnel? Like, you literally couldn't get any fucking reception on that thing.
A whole lot of unsolicited sexual content, for sure.
You weren't showing boobs on Omegle, right?
No.
Good. Plead the fifth on that either way. plead the fifth on that either way. But, yeah, Omegle, I'm sorry to see you have to go that way. But like I said, I'm pretty sure that site. I was surprised when I saw that it shut down only because I was like, damn, it actually had a good run. I'm kind of surprised that it lasted that long. Kind of shocking. So, well, yeah.
There was the article on why they shut down was from a lawsuit from a sexual abuse survivor off of Omegle. So
somebody got sexually abused on Omegle?
Well, obviously because like Omegle is not for sex. It's for meeting up with friends. So.
Oh, is that what that app was for?
Yeah, for meeting new people. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that that's what that app was. I thought that that's what that app was for. Like, no, just go on there and just.
That's illegal. Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah. So I'm surprised it took that long then for that site to even get a charge on it. I mean, that's literally all it was. I thought that that's literally what it was.
Meet up. I mean, you have to like meet up with somebody, and I guess that's sexual abuse. Like, I don't know. I didn't read the entire article. I just read like a portion.
That's crazy. That's one hell of a wild run for Omegle.
And it took somebody having to sue. Like, I don't know.
And then they're like, all right, maybe we should probably shut this. Maybe we should probably burn this motherfucker down. Come on, Boogie. Let's burn this motherfucker down. That's what they should do at the Omegle offices. Well, on that note, Omegle, hopefully that person sending much love, good energy to them. However, though, that is a fucked up thing for a fucked up way to call it quits on Omegle. But, I mean, I literally didn't even know that that's what that damn thing was for. But on that note, I think I asked you beforehand before we went live, but would you like to dive in on music first, movies first, sports first, wrestling first? I'll let you take the pick. Guest gets to pick.
I don't care.
You don't care? Well, you didn't make this easy on me. I'm going to say let's just dive in and talk new music. Just dive right in with that. A lot of new music came out this weekend. Actually haven't got to really sit with most of it at all, really. Some of it, though, I've got to play back. Right off the rip, I really liked Too Good to Be True a lot by Rick Ross and Meek Mill. That kind of had the old double MG vibes, kind of took me back to that 2008, 2009, 2010 run. Had a lot of the old features from that time too on it, which I thought was really cool. Love seeing Future, love seeing French, Wale, Voorhees 2 joints, though I think were my most stickouts out of that. But as far as putting the highly recommendation stamp on it, highly recommend. Yeah, I highly recommend checking that out. It definitely gives that like old feel. Brings back some nostalgia, and it brings back obviously them just showing that they still all got it. So love seeing that. Definitely highly recommend checking that project out. Highly recommend checking out my dude Chew Jackson. He dropped "Feeling Bad" (parentheses calling). Yeah, there was some joints on that. Kind of seemed like it was like kind of had that retro vibe to it for sure. As far as selling, I saw that it's not really doing what I think they wanted it to. But shout out "Feeling Bad" by Chew Jackson. That's my boy Chewy Lennon, Gap Tooth Chew. Highly recommend checking that out. You had "Love It On Me." Jack Harlow dropped a new mixtape, dropped a new single, and dropped a new music video. So I thought that was dope. Got to check out the video as well. Saw that video is doing really well too. It had like 1.3 million in a day. As far as albums, I saw that Kodak Black dropped "When I Was Dead," which there's a record on there called "Burning Rubber" that I recommend you check out, but not exactly for because I think that you'll fucking love the record. But the last minute and 15 seconds of it is pretty fucking funny. And Kodak, I have no Kodak hate in me. I'm not putting the hater hat on because I love Kodak. But I do believe I have this theory on Kodak that whatever he records, it just goes on the next album. Like he don't cut nothing out and he just lets them all fly. Because there's no way somebody didn't hear "Burning Rubber" and go, I don't know, buddy. You might want to let that sucker breathe. You might want to just let that sucker go to the vault. And Kodak's like, fuck that. Put it out. All right. However, though, I did like extra clips on that album a lot. I saw YoungBoy drop the new album. I didn't check out all of that. I think I might be outgrowing checking out all of the YoungBoy drops. It's kind of getting a little rough for me. But I did like the one with Rod Wave because I think those two together is crazy. And I did like his record Guitar Hero on there. I thought that was pretty solid. I do like, I know this is right up your alley. This is up your lane. But Post Malone dropped a record with called Pickup Man. And then you had Morgan Wallen on John Deere Green, which was, they calling that the Hicks tape. Hicks tape and Joe Diffie. So I don't know who Joe Diffie or Joe Diffie is, but thought those two records are pretty dope. Saw Roy Woods dropped 4 a.m. Great new record. Like that a lot. Only got to hear that, though, once. So I got to hear that more. I saw Chris Brown drop 11:11, which I'm kind of going back and forth between albums and singles as I'm coming across them. But I saw Chris Brown dropped another 22-track album. However, though, I've only heard a couple joints on that. I heard the one with Future. I thought that was okay. Overall, though, I don't have it in me to listen to these lengthy Chris Brown projects. I don't know if you probably didn't, but Chris Stapleton dropped Higher. Oh. How about Pink Panthers? Pink Panthers dropped a new album, which I haven't got to check that one out either. I'm a little bit behind. I ain't gonna lie. Pink Panthers, that's a she did that Boy's a Liar song with Ice Spice at the beginning of the year. All over the radio. Oh, you're not hip.
I don't like Ice Spice. So.
And you don't like Pink Panthers now either? That's crazy.
I mean, I guess I never heard that. Stick with my country.
Well, at least you had Chris. Well, you don't like Chris Stapleton, so I guess the only thing you got was the Posty and the Morgan.
And that even was kind of heavy.
That's wild. Trippie Redd dropped an album named after his newborn son, Saint Michael. Or actually, I think it could just be probably an EP because it's 7 songs, about 18 minutes. So that kind of comes off more like an EP or maybe just like a short album. Either way, haven't checked that one out yet. That looks pretty solid though. Larry June and Cardo dropped. Now that I've got to check out some of that. Really like the one with Q. Really like the one with, we got Payroll Giovanni on there as well. Got Dej got 2 Chainz. Yeah, I got to check out that project probably a little bit more, but so far so good on that. I really like Pop Out with Schoolboy Q. Oh, Doomer. Good brother Doomer. KRS-3 said the Pink Panthers album is great. He gave it a 9 out of 10. So I got to check that out as well. Lola Brooke dropped Larry June and Carter. Yeah, I gotta check that one out too. Lola Brooke dropped the album called Dennis' Daughter. I see we got Coi Leray on there. We got French on there. That's a good record. I've heard that one. Looks like on 12, we got Lotto and somebody else on that. Let's see who we got. Damn, there was a lot of drops this weekend. Now I don't feel so bad for falling behind. And Young Miami. Interesting. Yeah, so I got to check out the Lola album. I got to finish that Larry June Cardo. I got to check out Trippy. I'll probably finish the Chris Brown just because I know I'll end up having the time. Saw the Kid Leroy dropped an album. I know a good friend of the show, Mango, he likes Kid Leroy a lot, so it's probably worth checking out. And then you got AJR with the Maybe Man. So I'm looking forward to that. However, though, so far the singles that I've heard on the AJR haven't really jumped out to me too much. Sometimes he does just come off as like a little bit too much of a corny version of Bellion. What else do we have album-wise? Lil Peeps Come Over When You're Sober, part 2, the OG version.
Oh.
So like how the songs originally sounded. I haven't went back and heard that yet to see like the difference, but I just added one to make sure that I remind myself. BJ the Chicago Kid dropped an album. Whoa. I didn't even see that before. That's interesting. Coco Jones on there too. Sheesh. Liquor Store in the Sky. That sounds like an instant ad. Let me just go ahead and add that. Damn. Get got me. Liquor Store in the Sky with Future. BJ's Chicago Kid. Put my Herbie Hancock down. Sign me up. What do we got new singles wise? Well, first off, I highly recommend checking out the new Conway and 1-2 single. That's a fucking smash. So I highly recommend checking that out. Oh, Pink Panther's got Central C, it looks like, on Nice to Meet You. It's probably dope. Jonas Brothers dropped a new record. Strong Enough with Bailey Zimmerman. Gabby Barrett dropped a new record called Growing Up Raising You. That was from our American Idol. She's American Idol alumni. We got Smirk Carter with Dirk and OTF. Let's see what else. He said Scott's a not so new single. Fair enough. We got maybe that's it. 70s Shake and Ken Carson. That looks like that'd probably be really good. We got some Schwitz on here. We got some things. There's a new artist named Tigga and another new artist named Logic 1000. Let's see how that goes over for. There's a record with Jay Worthy and Jake One called Christopher Walken. Shout out Christopher Walken, the one voice impression I really wish I could do. But overall, though, I think that might do it on the singles. Let me double and triple check. Where'd I put it? Right there. Oh, Busta Rhymes dropped OK with Young Thug. So we got new Busta and Thug. We got Kevin Gates, Sexy Red, and BG dropped the Yonsei freestyle, which I didn't check that out. Young Bands dropped Love for Granted. It's probably interesting. Oh, and I did check out the new video and the new single that T-Pain dropped featuring Snoop Dogg, which is That's How We Ballin'. So I thought that was pretty dope. So a lot of new music came out this weekend. Definitely a lot. Some of it that I got to check into and tap back into. He said Logic 1000 isn't new. They're a techno producer. Oh, yeah. See, I wasn't sure. I just saw that they dropped the new single. So I just saw Logic 1000. I was just like, oh, shit. I wasn't quite sure. I've never heard of that name. So looks like they're kind of in that market, which that's pretty dope. Good for that. Yeah, a lot of new music, though, dropped this weekend. And I would say so far what's jumped out to me the most would probably be that Ross and Meek probably took the cake on that for really jumping out at me. And then oddly enough, I really like those Hicks Tapes records a lot, too. And, of course, the Conway with the 1-2. But Conway's a given. Conway's an instant ad. And I'm really excited to check out that BJ Chicago Kid as well. And as always, let me know what you guys listening to new. Let me just know what you guys are listening to in general. Always excited to hear it and see kind of where we're at and match up our frequencies and see what we're getting into. On that note, though, the other thing that I wanted to touch on in the music world. As always, when it comes out every year, it gets the internet talking and it gets a lot of people wanting to, gets people chatty for sure this time of year and for the next couple of months. Well, it's official. The Grammys have listed their nominations, And we know that when the Grammys roll around, we know everything that's nominated, which means they know what they're doing, because now all that we're going to be doing on the internet is talking about it for the next couple of months until the actual show does happen. So we are going to cover, and we'll cover it more too, but that when that time comes around before the show, we'll probably have like a whole like thing that goes with that. And we have our own Sleepless Radio Awards going on the 4th annual, which will be sometime in the upcoming month of December, probably midway towards the end. Looking really forward to having Dooley back in the Thunderdome, and maybe a new special guest this time as well, sharing their picks. So I'm looking really forward to that. However, though, these are the 2024 Grammy nominations. Now, with that being said, I feel like every year, I stopped doing it a couple years ago, but you can't get mad at the Grammy nominations. The people that every year get mad and say the Grammys are fucking up, every single year, if you're going that approach, you're just living the definition of insanity. Like, would I like to see Jay Skeese get nominated and Rory get nominated too? Absolutely. Is it going to happen? Of course not. That's just not how they do that. But every once in a while, though, you get to get a victory by even just seeing something get acknowledged and get nominated. So on that note, I feel like I should kick us right off with 2024's Best Rap Album category at the Grammys. 5 nominations, and here they are. First off, you got Michael. Killer Mike. I think that is one of the best hip-hop albums of the year for sure. High replay value. Much deserved, long overdue as far as getting that nod and getting that recognition deserves. I think all of his stars have aligned. He's marketed it perfectly. The deluxe came out and made it even that much better. Shout out, Michael. Just wanted to say for being fucking getting a nomination at the Grammys. You get your victories with the Grammys where you can. Then you got Utopia, Travis Scott. Then you got Heroes and Villains, which was Metro Boomin. You like that one record with The Weeknd. Creepin'.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with 21 Savage. Then you got King's Disease 3, which was a Nas album. And then you got Her Loss, which was Drake and 21 Savage. Which, all of those nominations, do I see why they happen? I mean, yeah, I think King's Disease 3 getting a nod's awesome. Personally, my victory in there, though, is seeing Michael get that nod. But before I give what I think's going to win, just right off rip all these months ahead of time, out of those 5, Michael, Utopia, Heroes and Villains, King's Disease 3, Her Loss, who do you have winning?
I literally can't name you, minus that Creep in one song of any of those albums, but I mean, I guess Drake being Drake, probably Drake. I don't know.
Well, Drake doesn't usually submit to the Grammys, but Drake submitted this time just because 21 Savage is his buddy, and he didn't want like 21 to not get awards just because he's against getting them. So I
don't know. My feelings on the Grammys are I think it's stupid. I don't think the Grammys are, I don't know. I don't think their opinions or their ears are anything really. I mean, especially with the majority of the categories and their nomination. Like, it's just, and I don't know. I don't like the Grammys. I think it's stupid. And
well, whoever fought to get Michael on the bill for the nomination bill, I think deserves a bump in pay, because I'm sure he had to fight tooth and nail to get that sucker on.
Yeah, I'm sure. Especially,
Oh, like, and when you go to that album, I mean, yeah, there's other nominations that they have too, but just seeing it get nominated as a whole, I mean, there was a lot of rappers on there that, like, I feel like Killer Mike would be the one guy that could say it. Me getting this nod and me getting this win. We all win. Bars win today. The bars win today. Not the, this did that on TikTok. No. The bars won when it came time to, not the barbs in this situation. They always win too. But the bars won. And the music, the stories that he was telling and conveying in there, I mean, he got deep in his bag. This was much deserved. However, though, I have a sneaky feeling that King's Disease 3 is going to win by Nas. I'm thinking King's Disease 3 might win. Not one of my favorite albums that came out this year, but that run that he's been on with Hit Boy, and now knowing that the run is officially over, I'd rather see Magic 3 get the nod, but I see why they did King's Disease 3, because King's Disease, I believe it was the first one, won the Grammy for Best Rap Album. I believe it was the first one. I think the second one may have even got nominated. But as far as King's Disease 3, Well, actually, no, I think it was maybe just the first. But either way, seeing King's Disease 3 get the nod, I think that's also much deserved. And I do think that will be the one that wins. However, if it's not King's Disease 3, obviously I really want Michael to win. But that's where I think that they would maybe give it to Michael. They should also have Jamie Lee Curtis introduce that, if that is the case. Her loss, I think, is great, but I don't think it's going to win in the best rap album category, especially with how the Grammys know off rip that Drake pretty much only did that as a favor for a friend. Heroes and Villains was great. That's essentially a producer album with a lot of people on there, which, don't get me wrong, was a great project. And then you got Utopia, Travis Scott, which I think, given on his situation and what happened, I don't think that they're going to give him that. But it did sell the best, so I feel like getting that nod, I can't necessarily be mad at it. So my final answer is King's Disease 3, KD 3, but if not, they're giving it to Michael. And as it gets closer to the Grammys, like I said, we'll even continue to dive further in on it as well. Let's see, another category. All right, so that's Best Rap Album. Now it's time to give the 5 nominations for Best Rap Song. So for the 2024 Grammys Best Rap Song nominations, we got Doja Cat, Attention. Nicki Minaj and Ice Spice, Barbie World. Lil Uzi, Just Wanna Rock. Drake and 21 Savage, Rich Flex. Killer Mike, Andre 3000, and Future, Scientists and Engineers. Now this, I think, comes down to 2, maybe 3. 1, I don't necessarily want to put the hater hat on because that'd be doing too much. But I don't really like Attention by Doja Cat being up there. Plenty of other records we could give that nod to than to give it to that. I feel like there's plenty more that we could give it to than to give it to that. But overall, though, I think in this situation, you got to give it to Andre 3000 and Future and Killer Mike with Scientists and Engineers. However, if Michael wins Best Rap Album, I don't think they're going to just start letting him sweep. So maybe this is the one that they give to Rich Flex. Just maybe. That's the one that goes 21. Can you do something for me? Yeah, so that could probably be that one. However, though, I wouldn't necessarily be shocked if they gave it to Barbie World. Only because of, how everything went with Barbie.
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj, Ice Spice, even though I always have to try to factor in the math of how many awards they'll let them win because I'm pretty sure Ice Spice is a shoo-in for Best New Artist. However, though, remember how I said King's Disease 3 gets Album of the Year? I think Scientists and Engineers is the winner for Best Rap Song, and that's the Killer Mike moment. The fact that will get the win. Because that clearly deserves it all over all the other records. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Rich Flex. Fucking love the record. But overall, though, it's not on the caliber of Scientists and Engineers. I mean, Andre 3K's verse alone was immaculate. Mm-hmm. What do you got winning that off the top of your head?
I don't I mean, I guess that Drake song. I don't know.
You're going Drake back-to-back picks?
Yeah, because I don't know. I don't think the Barbie World's gonna win. I don't.
You got Drake getting a sweep. That's crazy.
I don't know. I don't.
Well, Best Rap Performance. Here's another great nomination. Somebody had a great moment. Best Rap Performance. We got Kendrick Lamar and Baby Keem's The Hillbillies. We got Black Thought, Love Letter. We got Drake and 21 Savage, Rich Flex. We got Killer Mike, Andre 3K, and Future, Scientists and Engineers. And then we got Coi Leray, Players, which I know you like that record a lot. So Best Rap Performance, you're saying you're giving it to Coily? You're a koi fish? Well, one, I just think it's awesome seeing Black Thought up there. However, though, for Best Rap Performance, I think this is the one that they want to give to Drake and 21. I'm going Drake and 21 now. Because when they do the Can You Do Something For Me at the shows, people were losing their fucking minds. So I'm pretty sure you'd either give it to that or you'd give it to Kendrick Lamar and Baby Keem doing The Hillbillies. At least just as far as what I think's going to win. What other categories do we got? Best Melodic Rap Performance nominations. Now, one of these is a little confusing to me. But Best Melodic Rap Performance nominations, we got Doja Cat, Attention. We got SZA, Low. Drake and 21 Savage, Spin About You. Lil Durk and J. Cole, All My Life. Burna Boy and 21 Savage, Sitting on Top of the World. So immediately for that, I actually have a quick pick on that. I think that one they give to Lil Durk and J. Cole. Only because that record, they put like a really positive light around it. It became a monster hit for Lil Durk. J. Cole's verse obviously went viral. I think they give that one to All My Life, especially because I haven't seen it nominated in any of the other categories. But who do you have winning that one off the top of your head? You got... Oh, hold on a second. You got Doja. There you go.
Oh God, Doja Cat.
You're giving that one to Doja?
I haven't seen any of those.
Yeah, well, I gotta be honest. That's probably a good pick because I'm sure that they probably want to at least try to lean into giving Doja something. What else do we got here? Categories I want to dive into. We got... All right, let's just do Album of the Year in general nominees. Album of the Year in general. We got Midnight's Taylor Swift. SOS, SZA. World Music Radio, John Baptiste. The Record, Boy Genius. Endless Summer Vacation, Miley Cyrus. Did You Know There's a Tunnel Under Ocean Boulevard, Lana Del Rey. The Age of Pleasure, Janelle Monáe. And Guts, Olivia Rodrigo. So I think that one's kind of a slugfest for the overall Album of the Year. I think that one's really a nightmare to try to vote and really kind of put a pick on there. Obviously, if I were picking what I want to win, I would go SOS SZA, who, by the way, once told me that my raps are fire in 2014. I'm never going to live that down. Never going to let that go. Oh, no, I just... Take over. Read the nominations.
Then, I think mine would probably be Olivia Rodrigo with Guts. I did like that album a lot. We jammed that on the way down to Florida.
My nose malfunctioned.
What is that? Vampire I liked a lot off that. I could definitely see Taylor Swift as well, just with her hype right now and everything and all that. All the other stuff I haven't heard. So those would be mine. I would either say Taylor Swift or Olivia.
Well, I'm going to go back and edit that second out at the end of this when I put the timestamps in. But you were saying you got which one on that?
I said Olivia Rodrigo or Taylor Swift.
You said Olivia Rodrigo or Taylor Swift. That one's tough. Yeah, I want SZA. But overall, truthfully, I think that's going to go to Midnights by Taylor Swift. I think that either that or it's going to go to Guts by Olivia Rodrigo. And neither of them would be mad at the other one. But in a perfect world, I would like to see SZA get that nom. However, though, I did see, no matter what, SZA got 9 nominations this year, more than anybody, male or female. So I thought that was really important. Best Pop Duo / Group Performance nominees. We got 1,000 Miles, Miley Cyrus and Brandi Carlile. We got Candy Necklace, Lana Del Rey and John Baptiste. Never Felt So Alone, Labyrinth and Billie Eilish. Karma, Taylor Swift and Ice Spice. And Ghost in the Machine, SZA and Phoebe Bridgers. Ooh, I love Ghost in the Machine too. I don't know though. You might want to give that to 1,000 Miles, Miley Cyrus and Brandi Carlile. Wouldn't be mad, though, if Lana got it, because I love Lana. However, though, in a perfect world, I'm actually going to say again, I'd like to see Ghost in the Machine, SZA and Phoebe get that. I think that'd be cool. You said you have no idea for that one? Let's see. What are the other... Got a couple more. And like I said, we'll cover it more as it gets, closer to that time. Because I could spend a whole 2 hours talking about them alone if I got in my bag. Best R&B song nominees. We got Angel by Halle, which I think is amazing. We got Back to Love, Robert Glasper featuring Sir and Alex Isley. We got I See You by Coco Jones, great record. We got On My Mama, Victoria Monet, which is phenomenal. And we got Snooze by SZA.
Never heard any of those.
I'll be honest, this is tough. Because it'd be a great moment for Angel by Halle to get it. It'd be a great moment for Coco Jones to get it. However, though, I'm really feeling that if you wanted the biggest moment out of this, I think you give it to Victoria Monet for On My Mama. Yep, as soon as I said that, Doom, I hope Victoria Monet wins it. I think she's going to win it, but if not, I think they're going to give that to Snooze by SZA, only because of the star power around it. However, though, you can't count out Glasper. But Victoria Monet, I think, will take that dub. I think we'll go home happy after that one. Or if not, though, you do have SZA right there with Snooze, and I think they could easily give it to that as well. But that one should be a tough one. Best music video nominees. We got I'm Only Sleeping, The Beatles. We got In Your Love, Tyler Childers. We got What I Was Made For, Billie Eilish. We got Count Me Out, Kendrick Lamar. And we got Royce by Troye Sivan. I think they're going to probably give that one to What I Was Made For by Billy, even though I would like to see Count Me Out by K-Dot win it. But if not, they might actually give that to the Beatles, I'm Only Sleeping, because if I remember correctly, Beatles actually never really got the Grammys look back in the day, which was kind of surprising. But I think that just about does it, except there was one question, or not really question, but one statement that I wanted to make just to see kind of what you thought about it. I figured I would, put this down in my notes when I knew you were joining us tonight. So Morgan Wallen received several Grammy nominations this year, as Last Night was only nominated in a songwriting category, even though he has the most successful album and song of the year in the U.S. by sales. 0 nominations. Goose egg. What do you think of that?
I think that's crazy.
Like, are you shocked by that? Are you?
I mean, a ton of music came out. I mean, that, country music. That's why, like, the Grammys are, like, literally, there's so many award shows that it's, like,
I feel like the CMAs happen every other weekend.
Care. I know. I don't care that, like, my favorite artists don't get nominated for stuff like this, because they're pointless to me. It's just, like, literally a group of 20 to 50 fucking people who are, if that, listening to this and deciding that that's the rap or album of the year. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, it'd be different if, like, the public was voting on these things, and, like, it was a mutual vote between, like, the people who actually, like, buy the shit and listen to it and, like, care. Then I would have a little bit more, like, oomph into it. But, like, why do I care what a bunch of fucking middle-aged people listen to? Like, I don't.
Do you think that maybe part of him not getting that nod was because of
his issue? Yeah, I do.
That played a factor in it, and the whole getting drunk at the show thing, like.
Yeah, I mean, it does. I mean, he doesn't have a very good
spotless record, is what you're saying.
And and again, the people who are listening and judging and nominating and voting for these things can't see past that and look at the actual music. They're not seeing that, then that's on them, and whatever. Like, these fucking CMAs are on every other day, so
seriously, those I get caught up sometimes.
But the actual music, the actual ACMAs or whatever was on last weekend. Yeah,
the Grammys, like I said, if you still get mad at the nominations not always being perfect, it's like, well, what the hell do you want us to do?
Yeah, you're setting yourself up to be mad.
Yeah. But overall, though, I do like seeing, like I said, getting the dubs where you can get them, seeing certain things get nominated. But on that note, let's pivot off and pivot into another subject that I wanted to mention. Entertainment is back in full force. Thank God. I know we've been reporting on it feel like it's been going on for almost a year now, really. But finally, the strike has came to an end on all fronts. So now that means John Cena, for example, is back to Hollywood. So they're ended that run.
Yeah.
So it'll be, we're lucky we had him when we did. But just in general, just so happy to see people get paid. There's a couple new things in place that I saw as well. So that's pretty good that, like, there's certain things now on like sets and, like, for the cast and stuff, like certain requirements that they actually ended up meeting. Okay. So that's pretty good. Everybody's getting paid. Now these projects can resume filming and finally start getting going, because the longer it went, I mean, I hate to kind of say it because obviously now it's so positive, but there is one negative part of this. The damage is done and the milk's been spilled.
Yeah.
Because there's some of these shows that's like...
Now they're going to be taking way too long to come back. I'm not interested. I don't care.
Yeah. Like, I know I kind of mentioned it before, but like Stranger Things is like one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like by the time that new thing rolls around, it's like, man, unless y'all give me a really good recap, I don't even remember what the fuck happened. Like, you know.
Yeah,
like,
I'd have to go back and watch them all, and I just don't have time for that.
Yeah, it's too many of them.
Mm-hmm. Not even that, they're just too long.
But I am happy, though, to see everything's going to resume kind of back to normal. Now, all of a sudden, there's trailers coming out. The part that I am laughing at, though, is there's movies that have now, like, been at the theater for, like, a minute. But actors, as part of the thing, they couldn't go and, like, promote it. So I feel like right now, the real winner in all this is all of these platforms that do, like, interviews with these guys. Because they're coming out, like, every 15, 20 minutes. Like, they're doing Zoom, like, all these different ones. Because it's like, hold on, our movie's still got a couple showings. Yo, get out there. Promote this thing any way, which way we can. Like, get out there and talk about it. Because we've literally been on strike refusing to talk about it.
That's true.
And then, like, you'll watch these clips and, like, I saw Chris Pratt when he's like, yeah, now we're getting ready to drop the Garfield trailer and Guardians of the Galaxy 3's out on Disney. It was like because he does so many things. It was just funny that, like, when they finally kind of, you know, rolled out the red carpet for him, he's like, okay, we had Guardians that came out a couple months ago. I got the trailer dropping soon for Garfield. We got the spinoff for Parks and Rec. He goes, we're shooting the reunion on that. He goes, should be out. Like, he's trying to remember all these different dates and shit at once. And it's like, fuck, I haven't been able to promote any of them, and now I got to promote them all at once.
At one time.
Like, oh, God. And I know if I forget one of them, that guy's going to be like, oh, so you mentioned all the other projects but me?
Right.
And it's like, buddy, I do 9 movies at once. Like, what the hell? Crazy. What do you want from me? Fighting for my life over here. But so happy to just see everything back in full force. Kind of really almost felt like they weren't really gone because obviously there was some things that, you know, were still coming out. But the damage is done and shows did get pushed back. So go and pull up the list if you guys got time of all the things that ended up getting delayed. I'm sure there's some shows out there that you guys like. And you probably don't know that maybe they're stuck in limbo or maybe they're, you know, completely just canceled in general because I saw that happen to a few of them. But they need to get that Kevin James show, The Crew, up and running now.
Yeah. They
need to capitalize on that stardom that he got from that infamous meme. Mm-hmm. But with that being said, I was thinking of like ongoing set of like questions and maybe we could touch on one each week and kind of just see how it goes and where it ends up. One of the questions I want to propose this week and kind of have like a reoccurring theme of favorite Mount Rushmores of characters coming forward, like I said, every episode. So to start it off and to kick that off and kind of see how it goes, because I feel like this will get, especially Reddit, very interactive. And I hope to see your guys' comments as well on YouTube and on Reddit. And you can share them with me on Twitter, share them with me on Facebook. I don't know. Tag me on IGs. But with that being said, my question for you, and it's a question that I'll propose that I'll answer myself, is who would be your Mount Rushmore, so your top 4 favorite TV characters on sitcoms? So specifically sitcoms. You give one and then I'll give one, or you can go all 4 and I'll give all 4. How do you want to do it?
Okay, I mean, I guess we can go one at a time.
One at a time?
Mm-hmm.
You go first.
Dwight Schrute.
Dwight Schrute? You say Dwight Schrute from The Office. I say Boyd Crowder from Justified. That'd be probably number 1 for me.
Is that a sitcom?
Not Rush. No. That's not. Thank you. I still got stuck on. As you can tell, it's one of my favorite TV characters ever. Yeah, thank you. I'm the one who asked the question and I botched it. So you said Dwight Schrute. Give me. Never mind. Give your 2.
Uncle Jesse from Full House.
Uncle Jesse and Dwight Schrute. Ooh, give your 3rd.
Chandler Bing, of course, from Friends.
All right. Steve Carell playing Michael Scott in The Office. Give me Michael Scott, the best boss.
You have to go. I only have one more.
I might need a minute. You go.
My last one's Jim Halpert.
And Jim Halpert. So what? You got 2 from The Office, 1 from Full House, 1 from Friends.
Mm-hmm.
So reiterate your 4 so I can have them.
So I got Dwight Schrute, Jim Halpert, Chandler Bing, and Uncle Jesse.
Wow. R.I.P. Matt Perry, by the way, because that is a phenomenal one to give. I'll go for TV sitcom. Give me Michael Scott. Helps me better if I can type them out because then I can remember as I'm not forgetting anything.
What about your Seinfeld show?
See, I'll actually go a step further. There's one character on your show, Friends, that you love watching, which she's turned me into a big Friends fan as well. However, you just said, what about my Seinfeld show? Well, believe it or not, I don't know if I've said this out loud yet, so I think we'll get a good reaction out of you on the pod. There's one character on Friends that I think is cooler and more funny than anybody on Seinfeld. And I will go as far as to say that. So Michael Scott to kick it off. For number 2, give me Joey Tribbiani, Matt LeBlanc. I like how you doing? I had to go for it. But yeah, give me Joey Tribbiani. See, I would have said Kramer, Michael Richards, if he wasn't a fucking racist. So I can't really give that one to him. Like, I feel like that instantly ruins that. Like, I can't. It's like, God damn you.
You have 2 more.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how you just breeze through this shit because I'm trying to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. So, Michael Scott, Joey Tribbiani. See, I knew this would be a good one. I'm excited to see all theirs as well. Oh, God. Because I feel like right now I'm thinking, like, main characters, but then, like, there's also, like, kind of like the side characters, which are also really important. If not more important. I loved on my first one. I go, yeah, Boyd Crowder. But
hey, it was your.
Remind me of some shows. Throw some shows at me too.
I don't. Those are my 3 shows that I watched that are like sitcoms.
Like Seinfeld, it's like, all right, George is funny, really funny, but do I put him up there? Jerry's like, I more so like that show as like a whole.
Like, have you ever watched like How I Met Your Mother or like Parks
No.
and Rec? That would be like a sitcom.
Okay, I like Parks.
Arrested Development.
I got one. Ron Swanson. I don't know the actor's name, but Ron Swanson on Parks and Rec. Good one. So yeah, I'll go Ron Swanson, Joey Tribbiani, Michael Scott, and then oh God, because I know when I start seeing comments and shit, I know I'm gonna be like, yep, and I forgot somebody.
And I'm sure I like forget shows, but
all
those
right,
are like my favorite characters.
I'm gonna ask something then. Does an animated TV sitcom?
Sure. Like the Proud Family? No.
No, like adult animation, would that count?
Yeah, we can count it.
Doom, I'm gonna ask Doom too. Doom, does that count? Can I use an animated cartoon, comedic, funny TV sitcom character? Or does that might not count, actually. I'm trying to think. You're saying you count it. If it counts, I say Eric Cartman.
Yes, it counts.
Counts. All right. So on that note, Michael Scott, Joey Tribbiani, Ron Swanson, and Eric Cartman. So I'll go Eric Cartman. Expect my torta. Fuck you, Cal. So
oh my God, what about that 70s show? Did you like that show a lot or no?
Love that 70s show, but none of those characters top those 4 for me. None of those characters beat out that one for me.
Gotcha.
That was a good one, but see, honestly, though, if I had to do that show, like my favorite character on that show, to go like show to show, I guess, real quick, I'd probably go Kelso.
Okay.
If I were to say Seinfeld, I'd probably have to say Kramer, unfortunately. Homer Simpson, dope. He's great. Gotta love Homer. If we're counting those, then too, I mean, Stewie.
Stewie, yeah.
Where's my money, Brian? Where's my money, man? Where's my fucking money?
Hysterical. He's just like
Peter Griffin. Peter Griffin reminds me of of El Padrino. Don't ever tell him that though.
Oh my God.
Peter Griffin's great. The dog, Brian's great. Oh wow, just blasting off a couple now. Obviously, South Park, you got Cartman. Brickleberry was underappreciated, but I used to love Brickleberry. Simpsons obviously is great. You got Cowabunga, dude. You got Bart. Yeah, there's so many great sitcoms, though. There really is. I mean, Big Bang Theory, I know Sheldon's a popular character, but I never got into that show too much. I know your mom always says I'm Sheldon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just figured that'd be a cool question. Try to see where your guys' heads are at. See, you got to see me think in real time. I brainstormed on it ahead of time, and I was still hitting brick walls. Meanwhile, you just blew right through it. So on that note, figured now would be a good time to pivot into some sports. Then we'll end up closing out with pro wrestling. So to dive right into it and start, let's share some NFL predictions. We got the Sunday night game, which I believe is going on right now, and I have not seen the score yet, so I'm going completely as if the game hasn't started yet. We got the New York Jets. They're in Vegas, I believe, and they're playing the Raiders. You got two great defenses there. You got the Jets defense. You got the Raiders defense. I got a couple parlays in play that I hope are going to hit. I'm going offenses have a hard time moving. 24-17. Raiders win. My hot take that I actually have money on in one of my parlays is that the Raiders get a defensive touchdown, either a pick or a scoop and score. So I'm saying the Raiders win either 24-28 to 17. I'm thinking they win by not over 10. But so if you're looking at a parlay, I would say probably under 10.5 on that. And I got the Jets losing to the Raiders. Then for the Monday night game, you got the Broncos, the Denver Bunkos, versus the Buffalo Bums. No, don't mean to shit on that. I know Bills Mafia would kill me for that. So Bills and Denver, and I believe they're in Buffalo. I know Denver's starting to get some wind in their sails. However, I think the Bills are going to take all of the wind out of them. I think they're pissed after losing last week. I think they bang on the Broncos, hurt that defense. And I'm thinking the Bills have a pretty crazy win. I'm thinking the Bills win 38-14. 38-14, they beat the Denver Broncos. That's my prediction on that. Or maybe to 13, actually. So a touchdown and 2 field goals. So I'm saying 38-13 on that. That's just my predictions going on. I know that I got a couple parlays that I'll be posting on the different socials to hopefully see a couple of them start hitting. I did hit a one place bet. I did bet $10 on Kareem Hunt earlier for an anytime touchdown, and he got me $37. So thank you, Kareem Hunt. On that note, we have to dive into what I call madness in the simulation, where the simulation has a crack in it and some crazy fucking shit happens that you just probably don't have on your bingo card. So I'm going to let you take the pick here. Do you want to talk Jim Harbaugh and stealing plays? Do you want to talk Earl Thomas's ex-wife, new boyfriend steals his identity? Or do you want to talk Michael Thomas freaks out on the construction crew and throws a brick through a windshield?
Let's start with the top one. Let's work your way down.
All right, so work our way down, like you said, is how I got them listed. So I still got to read up on this a little bit more as the investigation unfolds. So probably next week I'll be able to dive in on it a little bit more. But from my understanding, Jim Harbaugh has been temporarily suspended. He was not there when they won the game yesterday. There was a super dramatic post-game speech given by who I believe was the guy who filled in for him. However, though, the investigation that is now pending is Jim Harbaugh was now accused, which is the coach of the Michigan Wolverines, that he was sending, I believe, players or staff to go disguised and hang out and try to read and kind of get a feel for what their plays were from other teams so that they can take notes and report that back to Harbaugh. And then when it comes time after a couple weeks to play them in the game, well, we already know what they're going to do. We're good. We can figure this out. Now, as I'm sure for some reason he hadn't learned this lesson yet, you got to learn from Jordan Belfort. Eventually, you can only get away with something for so long, and the chickens are going to come home to roost. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what finally happened here with that. So they suspended Harbaugh to punish the team, but it was basically most of the fault comes on the scout. The head scout was who really this mostly falls on. So it sounds like that dude was the one running the whole operation while Harbaugh was like, fuck it, it's working. Like, I didn't like you doing that. It's probably a bad idea. But hey, maybe if this goes south, it'll just fall on you, or maybe, who knows. But overall, though, I mean, like I had to use that expression for it because that's how I feel when I hear about that is eventually, what are we on? We're almost at the end of the season. The chickens are going to come home to roost.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how many times can you play these teams? And at the end of the game, I'm curious to know how many people on that staff were like, damn, man, it was like they knew everything we were going to do. And then now when they see this, it's like, that's because you knew about everything that we were going to do. Like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
So on that note, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how it pans out. Obviously, Jim Harbaugh's had a crazy career, going to the NFL, having some success, then failing tremendously, and then now coaching a historic franchise in college and a historic dynasty in Michigan. So it'll be kind of exciting to see how that one pans out. Which, speaking of excited to see how something pans out, oh boy, I'm pumped to talk about this one. For those that don't know, I'm going to go read the headline because it was one of those times where I was like, I know I'm not reading this one right. But he actually ended up playing in today's game, I believe. So I'm not really quite sure how the investigation on this is working. But wide receiver Michael Thomas is now being accused of throwing a brick at the car of a contractor who kept parking in the street near his house. Thomas is also accused of taking the guy's phone and throwing it when he started recording. Michael Thomas's neighbors then called the police. First off, I would have loved to see the footage of this freak out. Because I love a good, wholesome simulation crack. So, I'll be honest, though. I almost threw that one. Yeah, we had...
I yelled at the neighbors across the street, too. Because they kept parking right behind my driveway. Right behind. It was a bitch to get out, especially on garbage day.
Yeah, on garbage day, it was an Olympic sport trying to back out of the house.
I ain't gonna lie, I hit the garbage can. I mean,
It was like, honestly, it was like this guy it was a tree service guy for us. This guy was a contractor.
Yeah,
so he's doing some construction. But this guy that we had, we went to war for about a good week with this guy.
2 weeks.
For real. A couple of those days, it literally seemed like he would like park at the end of like the driveway, but like it wasn't like fully lined up. And if I didn't know any better, it was like he went, now he's got a little room to get out. All right, no room.
And it's like,
let me back this bitch up. All right, no room.
The thing that's irritating about that is if you like the way that the driveway is, it's like you literally have probably 30 feet of room from like the mailbox to like the next driveway that's like away from the end of our driveway. Like there was no reason to park directly behind our driveway.
Plenty of room.
There was too much room that he could have parked. So I feel the brick through the window. I get it.
Oh yeah, they almost got the brick treatment.
Almost.
They almost got
one
the
more
brick
day
treatment
they were
for
getting
sure.
the brick treatment.
Yeah, so Michael Thomas, and I saw the memes are already flying about it because obviously that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm for it, I'll donate.
My thing too is like I just like imagine like the neighbor who called the cops. He's like, "Wait a minute, which neighbor's that? Oh shit, that's the guy who's got a game on Sunday. That's Michael Thomas."
Code cops.
You can tell he didn't have Michael Thomas in fantasy though, or any bets on him. You can tell right away he didn't have that because nobody would have even risked it at that point.
Oh yeah, with the cops. Yeah.
Like right now, there was a lot of bye weeks in the NFL, a lot of fantasy teams affected. If I had Michael Thomas and I looked out the window and I saw Michael Thomas throwing bricks and possibly even threatening the construction workers, if anything, I might go out there and just try to de-escalate the situation. Yo, my man. Yo, Travis Kelce's on a bye week this week. I really need you, man. Fucking back up. Hit him with the Drake Bell. Whoa. Take it easy, man. You're my wide receiver 1 this week. Take it easy, man. You're in my waiver claim. Take it easy, man. I just traded for you. Need my fantasy team. Fuck the construction. We can fix the windshield, no problem. We can't refix and win this chip. So we need him out there, god damn it.
That's true.
Pick a ball, pound, shots. Give me Michael Thomas back. But yeah, I just thought that was wild. Michael Thomas, you're a fucking wild one, man. Speaking of some wild shit, though, Now, here's a headline that goes the other way, and I feel like this one you'd be able to, elaborate on a little bit more as well. The boyfriend of Super Bowl champion Earl Thomas's ex-wife. So you got the boyfriend of the Super Bowl champion Earl Thomas's ex-wife has been arrested for stealing the NFL star's identity in an alleged $1.9 million scam. He's accused of cashing Earl's NFL checks, stealing from his bank account, and transferring car ownership for several of his vehicles. Which, when you ultimately read the whole story, the one that got him was when he started trying to transfer ownership on the vehicles and go and taking the vehicles out of different storage garages that he has. Because Earl Thomas, essentially, as the story goes, he got the major last laugh on this. Because essentially now, he's doing good. He's chilling. And he got a call, basically, that said, hey, something's looking a little fishy here. I'm just making sure it's all good. Signed over your third car to the boyfriend of your ex-wife. Like, this is your accountant. I'm just making sure that we got this straight. And Thomas was like, well, that's clearly a mistake. Don't know why that's happening. Hold on, let me start looking into my shit. Oh, money's missing. Oh, he's signing cars over, forging my name, cashing my checks that are still going to the house that I let her stay in out of sympathy.
Yeah.
So my question, I guess, that I'm asking everybody and asking you specifically is, was this all, because from what I've seen so far, we don't really know where all of the blame goes here. All we know is Earl Thomas is going on IG Live, getting the last laugh of a lifetime. Just, obviously, I did all these things for you, and you're still trying to rip me off? Come on. What are you guys doing? And I feel like as far as the girl and the guy go, if they remain together, they just got to fall off the face of the earth. That's a massive L.
Yeah, especially, I'm sure it was, her idea as well as his to be doing this. So, I think that, I'm sure they'll stay together if whatever. But I don't know what the motive, would be. Obviously, I know what the motive would probably be, obviously, because he's rich and whatever, but,
how stupid are you, though?
I just, transferring cars over? I just, that's where it's,
again, the saying that I'm using on this episode is, eventually the chickens will come home to roost. Eventually.
It's the cars that were, it's okay, money, all right.
That's what got him. That's what got him.
Money.
He wasn't even realizing that money was being stolen and checks are being cashed. He's probably like, oh, hey,
Cars being, but it's being the robber, whatever, the fucking criminal in this case. Cars, you don't think that that's fishy. You don't think that that's gonna raise some concern when all of a sudden randomly this guy's selling over his cars.
And what if
Earl, the ex-boyfriend?
And what if Earl's back in that city and goes, oh, hey, I'm gonna, I don't know, they want me to be a guest announcer for the game this week. I don't know. And he goes, all right. Let me go, take one out of the lot. Let me go give it a spin. I haven't drove the Bentley in a while. I forgot I had that blue Bentley or whatever. He goes in there and goes, oh, it's gone. Huh. That's weird. Oh, yeah, you signed that bitch over 6 months ago. You don't remember that? No? Then you got, hey, now you're going to jail for massive amount of fraud. Which I'm pretty sure that's already probably on the table.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Once the But I'm glad, though, that
cashing all of those checks alone.
Probably a lot in royalties, too. And
just the cashing of, forging and cashing the checks, that it alone, that charge alone is going to be hefty. Let alone forging to sign cars over. I don't know what the technical terms are, but whatever that is.
Essentially, yeah, he was essentially trying to do a complete steal of identity and just see if it could go under the rug.
That's crazy. That's ballsy.
Now, I'm glad that you mentioned it, though.
Captain Ballsy.
I saw that there were some comments that were like, oh, of course, a lot of women defended women, which is always a good thing to see. But I did see that there was some people in the comments that were saying that. that were coming from the angle of, well, now, let's not go at both of them because that's probably just that dirtbag trying to get away with it. And I'm so glad that I saw the one comment, though, that was like, well, how about the part where they go out on a date in a car that she used to get picked up in by him? You know what I mean? Like, oh, hey, that's weird. Where'd you get this car from?
Females supporting female girlies with the girlies. But come on, do better. I mean, do better, please. Like, you are making us look bad by defending her.
Because you know she was
obviously, because if she was
she
not
maybe
okay
even came up with the idea.
That's what I'm saying. She most likely probably came up with the freaking idea, and like, or it was a mutual decision, or he came up with it, whatever the case is. Like, if she was a good person and like, oh, okay, it ended or whatever, like, no matter what the fuck he did, your ex-husband did or whatever, like, you still married the dude. Okay, you still did that. That's still your part. That you're not a victim there. I'm sorry. I know fucking girlies love to play the victim game anymore and get me canceled. Like, they do. They do. Girlies love to play the victim. Oh my God, it's me.
I was about to say, this was probably her idea. And what made it so easy for him to go along with it, honestly. I mean, I'm just going to come from the dude's perspective on this one. So, I'm the new guy now. Obviously, I don't got the money that the NFL guy does. I don't got that. I'm now living in a house that you kind of own, but he just kind of gave it to you out of like, I'm not going to completely screw you over. So now I'm feeling like a complete bum. And now you're telling me, well, hey, I have an idea. I want to sting him. Let's take his shit. And it'll be in your name.
It could be.
I could see that.
Yeah, I could see that with him. Yeah, I mean, I could see.
And ultimately, remember, I do know a little law. I know a little bit of law. Skosh. That's a genius play on her move, because when it goes to court.
Well, I thought they said it was in his, like, he was.
Exactly, because it's, even if she, see what I mean? If she came up with the idea, oh, hey, don't worry about it, honey, we'll put it in your name.
Oh,
we'll put it in my name. Cool, I'll have it. I'll be a big dog. And you didn't realize that when it comes court time and those chickens come home to roost, that guess what just happened? You're sitting in court, even if he tries to go, yeah, Your Honor, but she put me up to it. He'd go, yes, you're correct, but all that makes her is conspiracy.
Yeah.
That doesn't make her the anything. You forged. That's where that charge goes. That's your fucking name, bud. You're going down for that. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. But if we did do a donkey of the day type of thing, I do believe that it would completely fall on her and that boyfriend, because that is a terrible way to go out. But on that note, let's now close this out with a little bit of wrestling. And then we'll get out of your hair and get out of here and get ready for the next week of Sleepless Shenanigans and see what unfolds in the simulation. So just two things I wanted to mention on wrestling. The other thing is a little bit of just a discussion to close us out on. But Damage Control has a new lineup on SmackDown that debuted. You got Bayley, Dakota Kai, the SmackDown Women's Championship, Io Sky. You got Kairi Sane, who debuted at Crown Jewel. And now you got Asuka, the Empress of Tomorrow, who joined the group, turning Damage Control into like the female bloodline. So I'm really happy to see that. I'm a big fan of the Damage Control. I can't wait to get the new shirt, because I saw that they have the new shirt coming out with the 2 new editions on it. So it'll be like how the group grew from 3 to 5. So I think that'll be really cool, and I'm looking forward to that merch drop. But on that note, something that I actually wanted to discuss with you, because I've been dying to vent this, and I actually low-key vented this to Doom on the phone a couple nights ago, because I just can't help myself. So AEW, I'm going to put the hater hat on here. I saved it for the end for a reason. I'm putting the hater hat on only for this segment. I have to call it down the middle. I have to call it like I see it. Yes, I am pumped and excited for AEW Full Gear next Saturday, Bleacher Report live pay-per-view. I am pumped. I will get that pay-per-view. I'm excited to watch it, and I do believe the card looks really well. But Tony Khan, you just made the worst booking decision that I've ever seen you make. And you did it to a guy that I actually respect and like as a wrestler, Keith Lee. You fucking buried this man. And he buried the belt at the same time. That's why I said it's got to be the dumbest booking decision I've seen him make. So to sum it up, for those that don't know, in wrestling terms, a burial means that they've either had a string of losses or they have like maybe a one-off win here and there. They're on TV here and there. And every time they're on the screen, you just not only beat them, but you just beat them down bad. You just squash them. Well, another form of burial is being choked out to the point where you tap out. So to take this story from the top, Keith Lee was battling Samoa Joe on AEW Dynamite for the Ring of Honor World title. Or I believe the Ring of Honor TV title. Now, with that being said, it was also Keith Lee's birthday on Wednesday. It was his birthday. Well, match happens. Doesn't really last very long. Samoa Joe submits with a rear naked choke. Keith Lee makes him tap out on his birthday, retaining the Ring of Honor title. Now, what makes it super fucked up and a complete burial on all fronts is he then takes the belt, throws it out of the ring, and says, I relinquish the title, I vacate the title. The only belt I want around my waist is the AEW World Championship. I literally, when I saw that back Wednesday night, so you're laying down, I'm down here watching wrestling, doing my research. As soon as I saw that, I literally said to myself out loud, I went, Tony, what have you done? You don't even know what you just did right there. So one, you just said, fuck you, Keith Lee. You just buried him into the 8 feet in the dirt. Rear naked choke submit on your birthday. And then at the end of the match, I'm going to relinquish the belt, toss that shit out of the ring like it didn't even matter that I just retained it over you, and say that the next belt that I want around my waist is the AEW World Championship. And then you have the audacity to announce that now there's going to be a tournament for that belt. Tournament for that belt? Oh, you mean the very prestigious belt that Samoa Joe basically just took a shit and piss on and threw it outside the ring? That belt? You're going to have a tournament for that belt. And you're going to expect me to care about who the winner of that is. At this point, I can't believe I'm saying it. You either got to just kill or completely reband that belt because I think you just buried it and didn't even realize what you just did just to get Samoa Joe versus MJF when all he had to do was just hold on to the belt. Then it's like, well, you buried Keith Lee, but you didn't bury two things at once. So I just think it was absolutely absurd to see that they did that. I almost feel like that had to be an instant regret the moment Tony did it. Because even the crowd was like, huh? What? I'm surprised they didn't start going, what? When they saw that Samoa Joe take that belt off and do that. I mean, it was just, oh my God, it's just insanity. But on that note, it'll be, as I always say, it'll be exciting to see how maybe they turn it around. On a positive note, I know Tody's got the capability to turn that around. I know he's very capable. However, though, you got to tread carefully, and I was mentioning it before. AEW, I know you're kind of hitting rocky roads right now, but you got to act now, and you got to do better booking than whatever that was because you just killed your belt. Unless you're trying to just completely do away with Ring of Honor as a whole, which is fucked up, you got to figure out something there. But on that note, close us out on this blessed, wonderful, beautiful Sunday night, and then tune into the Sunday night game and get some movies going and see what we're going to tune into. On that note, I did just want to say to my fellow Clevelanders and my fellow Ohioans, thank you to everybody who went out and voted yes on issue 1, voted yes on issue 2. I know they say don't talk politics, but I'm a different breed. Thank you for voting yes on issue 1. Thank you for voting yes on issue 2. You know me, I love my legal weed and my healthy, safe abortions. So on that note, thank you guys for voting. We showed out. We got our Ohio voted stickers. You got to vote for the first time, which was pretty cool. I got to see you stand at the booth and cast your ballot. So that was pretty cool. And on that note, do you have anything else that you'd like to say? Well, thank you for joining me tonight on Pull Up a Chair, sweetie. I know that we almost didn't have an episode tonight, and I hate doing them by myself. So thank you for joining me and have a lot of fun and having a smiling, beautiful face with me. On that note, if Snuka was here, he'd say stay blessed and less stressed. While I'm always here, I say keep the love high and the hate low. And Lord willing, I'll see each and every one of your smiling faces next Sleepless Saturday night, and you can take that to the bank twice on a Tuesday. Anything that you'd like to say? Water your love every single day. Peace. Oh, yeah, and smile more. Wake up with a smile on, goddammit.